All right, Rangers fans, gather round because today we've got a proper deep dive into everything going on at Ibrox. It's been another roller coaster season for the Light Blues, with plenty of twists and turns and a few decisions that have left supporters scratching their heads. The focus today is on the young talent coming through the academy and how the club is handling them, because it's becoming more and more clear that the pathway from the youth teams to the first squad is under serious scrutiny. One name that keeps coming up in conversation is the 18-year-old winger, Finlay Curtis. The kid's been on fire at the start of the season, showing the kind of composure, vision, and goal-scoring ability that you'd expect from a player destined for the top level. He hit the ground running with a string of performances that had everyone at Ibrox talking. 3 goals in quick succession that were not just flashy but decisive, showing a player with the temperament to handle big matches. The thing is, despite all that early promise, Curtis has barely featured in the first team over the past few months. We're talking just over 235 minutes in all competitions, which for a young player of his caliber is baffling. And this isn't down to form, because when you look at the performances he's delivered, the issue seems to be more about managerial choices and the timing of squad rotations, which have raised plenty of eyebrows among the supporters who live and breathe every decision that comes out of the Ibrox dugout. The situation became even more complicated with the arrival of Mikey Moore on loan from Tottenham Hotspur. Now, don't get me wrong, Moore's got talent and he's got Premier League experience, but when you're bringing in a player from London while one of your own academy products is waiting in the wings, it naturally sparks debate. Fans have been vocal, pundits have had their say, and you can't ignore the fact that club legend Ali McCoy himself has questioned the logic behind it. Speaking on the radio recently, McCoy pointed out that there's a youngster at Rangers who isn't getting his chance, while Moore has been given minutes despite not setting the Scottish Premiership alight. It's not a criticism of Moore as a player. He's got a bright future ahead, but it does make you wonder why a club would choose to develop a temporary signing when the long-term asset is already in their own backyard. Curtis's early season contributions were concrete, not just promise. Goals against Panathinaikos, St. Mirren, and a low showed a player ready to make a real impact. Contrast that with Moore, whose appearances have been underwhelming and who, as a loanee, will be back in England soon enough. From a long-term perspective, the decision seems a bit short-sighted. It's not just about a single match or a couple of weeks. It's about how Rangers manage their young talent over the course of a season and beyond, because the academy has started to produce players who could be crucial for the club's future stability and success. For supporters who follow the academy and take pride in homegrown players stepping up, it's a bitter pill to watch a youngster like Curtis get sidelined, while a temporary signing gets opportunities that arguably should have gone to someone committed to the club for the long haul. It's not just about appearances and minutes on the pitch, though. Curtis's situation reflects a bigger conversation about how Rangers balance immediate results with long-term growth. The academy has been a point of pride for the club, producing players who understand the culture, the pressure, and the expectations that come with pulling on that light blue shirt. Giving these youngsters a proper run in the first team isn't just a feel-good move. It's an investment in the club's identity and future success. Curtis has shown he can handle it, and yet he's still on the periphery. McCoy's comments really struck a chord because they underline a sentiment shared by many fans. It feels strange to prioritize a short-term solution over someone who's already proving their worth and has a long-term contract tying them to Ibrox. There's a sense that patience and strategic thinking are needed here, that the club should be nurturing its own talent rather than relying on a temporary fix that doesn't necessarily deliver the expected quality. And while Curtis waits for his chance, there's been another story unfolding on the pitch with striker Youssef Chimitai, who finally found the net after a run of games that had fans anxious. Chimitai's goal came in a crucial 3-1 victory, giving the new manager his first league win in charge, and it was a personal breakthrough for the striker, who had struggled to score in his opening appearances. The moment should have been all celebration, but it sparked its own debate. Chimitai's gestures after scoring divided opinion among supporters. Some saw it as a confident, passionate display from a player determined to prove his critics wrong, while others viewed it as a bit premature or even disrespectful given how inconsistent he had been leading up to that point. It's a reminder of how intensely the Rangers fanbase scrutinizes every action on and off the pitch. The expectations at Ibrox are relentless, and every player quickly learns that showing passion is fine, but it has to be tempered with respect for the supporters who invest so much in the club. Former Rangers figures have weighed in too, emphasizing the fine line players must walk. In a club where history and pride run deep, gestures like Chimitais are never seen in isolation. They're interpreted as statements, and the reactions can range from supportive to sharply critical, depending on perspective. The manager has tried to handle it carefully, focusing on confidence building and consistency, hoping that the goal can be a stepping stone for Chimitai to find form and contribute regularly to the squad. The youngster's future at Ibrox could hinge on how he channels his passion into productive performances while navigating the expectations of a fanbase that has seen it all and demands nothing less than commitment and respect. Meanwhile, the broader context at Rangers shows a club in transition. The decisions over player selection, especially involving young academy graduates versus loanees or new signings, are creating conversation about the philosophy and long-term planning of the squad. It's a balancing act. You want immediate results to keep the league challenge alive, but you also need to invest in the players who will define the club in 5 or 10 years' time. Curtis represents that long-term investment. His talent and early season displays show that he could be a key figure for Rangers, and yet his minutes have been rationed in ways that seem hard to justify, particularly when temporary signings have not yet delivered a transformative impact. Supporters are aware of this, and discussions among fans often revolve around the broader consequences for youth development, morale within the squad, and the identity of Rangers as a club that nurtures homegrown talent. It's a fascinating, if sometimes frustrating, situation to observe. Every matchday selection, every minute played, sends a signal about the club's priorities and the confidence it has in its own players. Curtis's case is a perfect lens through which to examine these tensions, and it's no surprise that supporters, pundits, and former players have all weighed in on the conversation. It's the kind of debate that keeps Rangers fans engaged, passionate, and vocal about the future of their club, as well as the players who wear the light blue shirt. And then you have the psychological side of it all. For a young player like Curtis, the pressure of breaking through at Ibrox is immense. Every appearance, every substitution, every decision by the manager is amplified under the spotlight of fans who live and breathe Rangers football. It's a lot for any teenager, but Curtis has shown maturity beyond his years and the opportunities he has had. That makes it all the more frustrating to see minutes limited when the potential is so evident. On the other hand, the club must also manage the integration of loanees like Moore, whose presence adds depth and experience to the squad. The tricky part is getting that balance right, ensuring that temporary additions do not unintentionally hinder the growth of homegrown players who have been nurtured within the Rangers system and represent the club's long-term interests. It's a delicate dance, and so far, it seems there have been moments where the scales have tipped in ways that don't make immediate sense from a development perspective, even if they might be intended to serve short-term competitive goals. The debate continues to rage among fans, with social media buzzing and matchday chatter reflecting a mix of optimism, frustration, and high expectations for the months ahead. While Curtis waits in the wings, the attention at Ibrox has also shifted to other players trying to carve out their place in the squad. Chimitai's goal may have been a turning point, but it also highlighted the pressures of adapting to a new league and a new club. The Portuguese forward has had a difficult start since his big-money move from Everton, with critics questioning both his record and whether the fee represented value for Rangers. It's not easy stepping into a team with expectations as high as those at Ibrox, and every performance is scrutinized. Chimitai's celebration may have ruffled feathers, but it also shows a player determined to make an impression, someone who isn't afraid to express himself even under immense pressure. The coaching staff, led by Danny Rowe, has tried to manage the situation with care, understanding that a player's confidence can be fragile, especially when they are trying to prove themselves after a tough start. Rowe's approach has been to use moments like that goal as building blocks, encouraging the squad to focus on what they can control while gradually increasing their consistency. It's a lesson in patience, both for the players and the supporters, and one that could pay dividends if managed correctly. At the same time, the spotlight on youth continues, because Rangers have always prided themselves on producing players who understand the culture and expectations at Ibrox. Curtis's situation serves as a reminder that talent alone isn't always enough. opportunity, and timing are equally critical. The club has to navigate the tricky waters of blending homegrown talent with new signings, finding a balance that strengthens the squad without stifling the progress of players who have come through the academy. Supporters have been vocal about this, and there's a growing sense that the pathway for youth players must be protected. Giving a young player like Curtis the chance to stake his claim isn't just about fairness. It's about shaping the future of the club. If Rangers are to remain competitive in the Scottish Premiership and beyond, they need to harness the talent they already have, providing guidance and opportunity to the next generation while still pursuing immediate results. This season has highlighted the challenges of squad management at Ibrox. Injuries, form dips, and tactical decisions all play a part, but the controversy around Curtis and Moore has sparked a wider debate about priorities. Rangers fans are passionate for a reason. They care deeply about the club's identity and its long-term success. That identity has always been rooted in developing players who not only have skill, but also understand what it means to wear the light blue shirt. It's not just about the performance on match day. It's about attitude, commitment, and connection to the club. Curtis has demonstrated those qualities in abundance, making it all the more perplexing to see limited opportunities, especially when loanees or temporary signings have not yet had the same impact. It's a scenario that raises questions about decision-making at the club and highlights the tension between short-term thinking and long-term planning, a tension that many supporters feel acutely whenever the team takes to the field. Meanwhile, players like Chimitai are learning the ropes of Scottish football, adapting to its pace, physicality, and pressure. The intensity at Ibrox is unmatched, and any newcomer must quickly find a way to navigate the expectations of fans, coaching staff, and media. The striker's first goal could be the start of a more consistent run of form if he channels his energy correctly, turning passion into performance without letting emotion get the better of him. The balance is delicate. Showing character and confidence is vital, but so is respect and awareness of the environment. Rangers is a club that rewards effort and commitment, but it demands that players remain disciplined and professional in how they conduct themselves, both on and off the pitch. Chimitai's moment may have been a flashpoint, but it also serves as a teaching moment, illustrating how fine the line is at a club where every detail matters. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. There's a rumor rippling through the streets of Glasgow that feels more like destiny than business. Billy Gilmour, once the wee lad who left Ibrox with dreams bigger than his boots, has returned home. The Rangers have unveiled their long-lost son, and the word among fans is that he's been handed total control in the middle of the park. Supporters gathered outside Ibrox could barely believe their ears as whispers turned to confirmation. Gilmour, the prodigious talent who cut his teeth in the Rangers Academy before jetting off to Chelsea at just 16, is back in royal blue. The message from the club was clear. He's not just another signing. He's the heartbeat of the new era. Those close to the club say manager Philippe Clement has made it clear that Gilmour will be the conductor of Rangers' rhythm, dictating play, slowing and quickening the tempo at will. He's nay just a midfielder, one insider told the Glasgow Herald. He's the pulse we've been missing since Barry Ferguson hung up his boots. And the fans? They're already dreaming. Social media exploded within minutes of the announcement, with memes of the boy coming home flooding timelines. The older generation remember him as the academy gem who slipped through their fingers, while the younger crowd see him as the symbol of a bold, modern Rangers, a team ready to reclaim Scottish dominance with flair as well as fight. Of course, there's always skepticism in football. Some wonder if Gilmour, despite his technical brilliance and Premier League pedigree, can handle the ferocity of the Scottish game week in, week out. But even the doubters can't deny the romance of it all, the prodigal son returning to finish what he started. The buzz at Auchenhowie this week has been electric. Players have spoken about a new energy in training, a tempo sharper, passes crisper. One source described Gilmour's first session simply: he ran the show. Every ball went through him. Whether this move turns into the fairy tale Rangers fans are hoping for remains to be seen. But for now, Glasgow is alive with that unmistakable hum, a mix of nostalgia, pride, and pure excitement. Billy Gilmour is home, and the blue half of the city can't stop talking about it. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.